What's going on, MTO family? Welcome back. My name is Victor, and sorry for the few minutes delay. Literally, when I was hitting the start and go live, I just had some issues here. Just anyway, today we will be working on, and I will be doing an AMA, basically just discussing about the latest updates that we have had on the project. In the meantime, I just want to actually just kind of like do a quick recap on where are we so far and what have we achieved so far. In the meantime, 2 seconds, I'm having some more technical difficulties. Apparently the cable, the computer is running out of juice, and okay, now we shouldn't have any more issues. As you can see, my background is not the kind of like the usual one. I'm basically just doing at the moment in a temporary basis, so I'm actually just kind of like cutting the background, you know, with software. So just kind of like clarification on that, and I added this background. Hopefully in a couple of months I will be able to kind of like fix my studio and be able to be back on track with everything. Now let's just jump into what we have been working so far, just kind of like a quick update. And also today I will be sharing with you a video of what has been happening on the MVP, and you can actually go and check the code already. So if you go to GitHub, you can actually go and check the code yourself. We have a couple of community members that are programmers and blockchain developers that are actually checking the code right now. So hopefully they will come back with us to give us, you know, their opinion to see if the code is good or not. On their opinion, of course. This is remember, decentralization, and we are a community. In the meantime though, I just want to share my screen just because I want to clarify a few things that has been, I would say, boggling the mind of a lot of people around. The first thing I have to clarify is that, remember, right now Bitcoin is going down, and it haven't been a great month, I would say, for Bitcoin. And experts say that we will not see this improving anytime soon. The reason for that is because there are just so many things going around: the war, the fact that what is happening in America as well, that they're trying to regulate certain aspects of cryptocurrencies that they have always been, but you know, FUD spread around, and just many factors that we don't see this coming, you know, turning around anytime soon. That's actually a good thing for us, and I have said that before. The reason for that is because it just gives us the time to finish the development of the project, so that then we hopefully will be able to be ready for the next bull run. In the meantime, however, it's not that we are just sitting, you know, and doing nothing. In the meantime, what we have been working on, the developers, of course, have been working towards developing the technology of the project. But on my side, on the marketing side, I am working actually on the background. Right now, spending hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars into promoting the project, it doesn't really have any value, doesn't really bring any value, because even though we would be able to maybe just create or generate certain hype around the project, there will always be the lack of product because the product is not ready yet, and that will basically not allow us to keep or maintain that hype. So what I'm actually working on right now is into targeting, and I have been saying that since January, into targeting certain niches. For instance, this week I had at least 4 to 5 different calls with different investors, people that are looking into investing a lot of money. We're talking about $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, and what they're looking for is kind of like understanding better the project and if this is something that actually they should invest on. As always, I am 100% upfront and clear about everything, so I do explain them that there are a lot of risks involved, because again, I don't want to get anybody to jump in and then, you know, kind of like things fall off, or it doesn't, or it takes too long for what they're expecting on the return as well. So that's something I always I always clarify again. But something that actually keeps recurring to me, and these are just the concerns that people are actually have been sharing with me, and the reason why certain big investors are either waiting or deciding not to jump into the train at the moment, is the fact that they don't feel that at the moment the community is supportive enough for them to be able to jump. If someone were to buy, I don't know, 100 Ethereum worth of MTO, which is about over $200,000 right now, you will basically, yes, get a really big chunk of MTOs, but at the same time you will be providing a lot of liquidity into the pool, which will most likely be taken out quite quickly, because again, there are a lot of people that wants to cash in. And what they are scared of, and something I want to show you, like just to give you an example, I have here the liquidity. Currently, the liquidity, we are trading outside of the liquidity ranges, and I will explain you that in a second why we are not adding extra liquidity. But at the moment, we're trading outside the liquidity ranges. That means that if someone were to add $100,000 or $200,000 worth of Ethereum here, yes, the liquidity will increase, the price will definitely be boosted, but then you will have a lot of people cashing in. And when that liquidity again goes back to zero, or at the levels that we're trading back again, then that person wouldn't have a chance to literally just get any or even part of the money back again. And that's basically what is happening. So a lot of people here are actually concerned that they might invest in MTO, but then they will not be able to take it off. And it's not, some people might call it rug pull, but it is not, because it is not us who is actually removing the liquidity, but the community itself that is just selling off. So if you, and that's why I keep saying why the community should be promoting the project, because if someone is concerned that the community members themselves, they are not respecting the project, they are not willing to hold the project up until certain levels, then they will be scared to invest as well, because of course the risk for them is to inject that liquidity, then all the community members will cash in and that liquidity is gone. And I want to clarify this. This could seem like a problem, which actually it is, and it's something quite hard to actually just work around that with the current situation that we have now. But why I am actually still looking forward for the future of the project. And I want to just do you some quick calculations on this. So look at this. This is Uniswap. If you were to invest 100 Ethereums, you will be actually getting 1.4 million MTOs currently, which is a price of around, I would say, 18 cents. So you do have a big price impact. However, if you were to invest 400 Ethereum, you actually get less MTOs, and the reason for that is because you're getting a lot more liquidity into the system. There is a way bigger price impact. So technically speaking, the tokens at that point, if only $1 million get injected into the system, the price of the token will skyrocket so much that this is what 1 million will be worth of. So these are the things that needs to be taken in consideration when investing into MTO. So another thing that I am actually explaining, or I was actually discussing this in the community on why we are not adding extra liquidity at these prices, and it's because I don't know if you are aware of how the liquidity work on the version 3 of Uniswap, but you can actually set up certain price ranges, and we are not interested into adding liquidity into these low price ranges, because basically that's what we would be allowing people is to literally just cash in that liquidity and removing it from the liquidity pool, and basically it's just going to be money wasted. However, by not adding the liquidity, we are in a certain way creating a price floor, because right now selling any tokens will be extremely expensive. There will be too high of a price impact, which doesn't allow people to be selling at this price. Also, it will also avoid people from selling, like buying and selling tokens at too cheap of a price, and basically kind of like stopping as well the FUD in a certain way. And the reason why I'm talking about stopping the FUD is because if we go to Etherscan, that's something I really wanted to show you guys. You can also go quickly and go to the holder side of the token, and you can see here that we have basically the top, I would say top 50 holders here. The first few ones are of course the deployer, the burn wallet. We have Uniswap, Whitebit, and Bitrue, but then we start seeing the real holders here, and we can actually go and see just, I would say, just a random one here to see how people have been increasing their holdings on MTOs. This is literally July. So this person here, which is a random wallet, I don't know who that person is, but bought 238,000 tokens in July, now has increased to 323. And you can actually go and see the majority of these top holders, they have been increasing. And what I want to show with this is that we could potentially have two different kinds of people here. We have the kind of people that maybe, look at this one here specifically. It started at 14,000 and now holds almost 1 million MTOs. So we could easily be seeing here people, those one that you see all around Twitter and Telegram, always being extremely negative about the project, that are literally trying to discourage people to keep holding on their tokens. Because there are two options here to buy MTOs, guys. Either you go on Uniswap and you pay a lot of gas fees, and most importantly, you will have a price impact. So you cannot buy it for 8 cents that is trading right now, because this price is just not real. Or you can get someone to sell you their tokens on a centralized exchange. And the best way to do that is to just talk bad about the project. So if nobody were to be selling their tokens on the centralized exchanges at certain low prices, then we will definitely be able to be holding certain price levels, and even, you know, increase above that, those price levels. So that's something I really wanted to clarify and put out there. So one of the reasons why we are not seeing huge people or huge influx of people coming in, there is another thing coming that you guys should be aware, and is on July. We will have the referral tokens that are going to be released. We haven't yet decided on the specific way on which the referral tokens are going to be released, but we're going to try to reduce the impact on that as much as we can. But those are going to be free tokens that are going to enter the market. So you should be expecting a price impact negatively on that as well. So this is something I really want to clarify as well. And this is something that every investor, every person that is going to buy into MTO at this point is going to do that. But what are the, and I know I have been talking a lot of negative sides as well, and this is what I like to be. I like to be honest and straightforward with you. But what are the positive sides here? So something really interesting to see. If you go and check, for instance, on Etherscan, right now, if you were to add, there would be a 1 million volume, or someone buying $1 million worth of Ethereum, which, yes, might seem like a lot, but you will get enough MTOs that the price will skyrocket to somewhere around the $1.2, $1.3. And again, I'm not making prices predictions here, but what I want to say is that because of the way the project and our product works, basically, if we were to have 1 million customers buying and selling things with MTO, then we will have that price impact, because it is the same as having 1 million people spending $1 or one person spending $1 million. And that's why I, personally speaking, believe so firmly into MTO, because even though right now the price is what it is, I do believe that once the project launches, there will be so much volume that the price, there will be a price impact, hopefully positively in the future. And again, I don't want to give any price predictions, because again, we are not here to give any price predictions. I just want to kind of like reassure you on how the simple math of the project will work overall. On that note, I want to actually review an example that the developer have shared with us. 2 seconds. I have here some comments. I'm just going to check. Perfect. So this is what the developers have been working on. I will show you now a video that is using basically the MVP with some examples. And we have here the merchants have created a few products. So this is basically what they did to test the scenario. They prepare 1 customer, 1 merchant, 2 agents, and 1 admin. The merchant created a few products. The customer purchased some of them. Customers didn't make any disputes, so the merchant should be able to withdraw funds from an escrow contract after the escrow time. Merchant's reputation got increased as well. Then the customer made a dispute. The admin assigned 2 agents on a dispute case. The 2 agents all agree on the dispute, so the funds got returned back to the customer from the escrow contract, and then merchant's reputation got decreased. Then another option is that the 2 agents made a different decisions, so they did not got anything, and admin needed to assign another agent. However, the admin couldn't assign another agent available, so he put a dispute case in the automatic dispute management system, which is based on a reputation calculation formula, and everything worked, the workflow worked properly. So it's going to be about a 10 minutes video, and I just want to kind of like, I will be skipping certain points, but just kind of like to show you. So as you can see here, there are the admin, the merchant, the customer, all created here. And the first step, of course, is the merchant is adding the products on the system, which again, I'm just gonna skip a bit forward just because it doesn't make sense. But once the products are created on this system here, we can see the customer, of course, purchasing the products. So here, customer is gonna buy the product number 1. And as you can see, of course, it is passing through the smart chain, the blockchain. And as you can see, there was no dispute. So we are actually testing that the merchant will get their tokens from the escrow after the time is passed. Then in the second example, basically we go to the customer that is buying another product. So again, passing the verifications through the blockchain to making sure that everything is working. Because remember, we need to make sure that not only the logic of the project works, but that it works also on the blockchain as well. So now the customer is actually disputing. So as you can see here, we are going to be disputing the case. And to dispute, you have to pay that fee. So now we have the dispute here on the system. And then the merchant reputation is 0 so far. So there is no, because there is no successful escrow so far. And the agent, and there is no agent waiting at the moment. So here we have the agent, which is trying to participate. So this is going to be you or any community member that want to participate and want to earn some MTOs. So you click here basically to participate into the dispute management system. And now the admin can assign the the agent, or the agent that wants to participate and answer and take a decision on the dispute as well. So as you can see here, the agent is assigned, and now the agent can reload the page and can see the case that he has to work on. So he is approving the decision. And remember that there will be always a second agent that has to approve that decision as well. So as you can see here, another agent is needed. So again, the admin has to assign another agent, but there have to be a second agent that has to click on participate for them to be available to be allocated a case. And we have here the admin that is assigning the dispute to the agent number 2. And again, as we said before, in this case, both agents are approving the dispute. So basically, the customer will be able to withdraw their funds back. And sorry, I just want to show this part here, because you are basically seeing that both agents now have earned basically MTOs. And also very important here is that one of the non-dispute escrow has passed its withdrawal time, and it has gone to the merchant. By 2 escrows, merchant has now 52 reputation. As we discussed on the last previous video that I was sharing to you, the more, of course, the higher the reputation of the merchant or of the agent, the better it will be then moving forward. As you remember, the merchant started with a 0 reputation, so now it has a 52 of reputation. Now the agent is withdrawing the bonus that have earned in MTOs. And again, if you want to participate, you have to pay the fee to be able to participate. And because he's participating, now we need the agent to assign and allocate the dispute system. And of course, a buyer has to actually buy a product and of course have to create a dispute here. So on this case, we're actually going to see the 2 agents disagreeing on the dispute and what can happen if that's the case. So again, the customer is raising the dispute here. And another non-dispute escrow has passed the withdrawal time, so now the reputation is 68. Because remember at the beginning, the buyer bought, actually the customer bought 2 products. And here is the admin assigning the dispute to the agent, which is the last dispute that appeared. So as you can see here, we are waiting basically for the agent to review it. And we have here the agent that in this case is going to disapprove. So giving basically the winning point to the to the company, to the marketplace here. And as always, we need at least 2 agents to perform the dispute. And again, the admin is gonna approve and allocate the other agent. and we have here again the second agent that is going to disapproving, so that we will see basically the case going at this point back to the merchant. So as you can see here, the dispute has failed for the customer. And we have here the two disputes that has one win and one was failed. And again, the merchant reputation has increased. So we go for another purchase here. Which is in delivery, and the customer is going to create or raise another dispute. So once again, the agent has to allocate the dispute to the agents, or go directly, because there are no agents available, go directly to the automatic dispute management. So what you can see here is kind of like what is going to happen. If you can see here is that you're trying to submit a dispute to automatic dispute management system. As the merchant has a reputation of 77, the dispute will automatically be disapproved and funds will be transferred to the merchant's address. So basically, because the merchant has such a high reputation, then at this point the merchant itself will win automatically. So that's how the automatic dispute management works. And notice the admin reputation and dispute status. And the merchant reputation as well here. And that is all for now. So at this point, guys, I'm just gonna be looking at the chat. Sorry if I was just focused into that. And if you have any questions, just please write it down in the comments on the chat, and I will be way more than happy to answer them as well. In the meantime, that you guys, because there is a bit of a delay and you guys are writing your questions as well, I do wanted to actually kind of like talk a bit about the project and why, personally speaking, I believe that we will have such a great and huge success. It's something that sometimes people don't actually think about it too much, and it's the fact of how big MTO actually is and why it was so successful during the ICO, and why it is actually, personally speaking, I believe it is going to be so successful. And the first thing I want to clarify is that remember when Bitcoin came out, the reason why Bitcoin came out, and the reason why Bitcoin is actually so successful is the decentralization part. Sometimes people don't actually understand properly the concept, and sometimes people don't actually weigh in too much into what that is. But basically is the freedom of trading between two people without the need of having any sort of middlemen in between us to help us with the trading. But of course, Bitcoin has its limitation, and as you can see, it is not widely accepted all around the globe. So what I like about MTO, and the problem basically that we're seeing right now, is that we have companies such as like Binance and Crypto.com that are kind of like entering the market, or Visa or MasterCard itself, or even PayPal, that are basically creating their own cryptocurrencies just by naming them cryptocurrencies, by being completely centralized. It doesn't actually mean anything, or it actually doesn't actually mean much. But basically what we're seeing is literally these huge companies are becoming the banks of the crypto world, which is basically just killing off the idea of what Bitcoin Bitcoin was meant to be in the first place. So why we, or personally speaking, I believe that MTO is going to be so successful is because it literally just fills that gap in between the merchants and the consumers, trying literally bringing consumer protection into the blockchain, so that literally you will be able to buy products directly using the blockchain, so you don't have to use any payments on the on a fiat currency, or you don't have to swap things between fiat currency and cryptocurrency. You directly can send Ethereums to Ethereums, and or buy Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin, or MTOs to MTOs directly in their wallets, and you will have a lot of really secure payment, because you will have the consumer protection that MTO is offering as well. So that's really, really interesting for you to have, and as well you will be able to use it on any POS out there as well. So let's go into the questions. I have a couple of questions coming in. So we have, are we going to be able to mine MTOs? And the straightforward question is no. It is not like Bitcoin that you are minting new tokens. That's what mining basically is how mining works basically on Bitcoin. But what you're doing here to protect the ecosystem is you are actually disputing cases. So instead of just buying I would say like a big and expensive machine that you have to go and just plug in into and consume electricity, you have to go yourself and go and click and approve and disapprove certain the cases for you to earn MTO. So that's the way that you are going to be doing. Same thing that Ethereum, for instance, brought the staking system, or Cardano, I would say, brought the staking system into the blockchain. We're bringing this dispute management system for you to be able to earn MTOs. But just to clarify, there are not going to be any new minted tokens. The only tokens that people will actually be able to earn from the disputes are the fees itself that the blockchain and the system and the ecosystem will charge. So that then will be basically paying back who is actually helping with the dispute system. We have another question is where this protocol will be launched. So the where, I'm assuming, is you're asking for location. I would say here in this case, it really depends because we are actually working on a decentralized way. We are looking into going for certain regions, but if we want the tokens to be accepted in certain regions, we have to work on certain legal issues, which is what actually the team right now is focusing on. And that's why it's also going to take quite a long time for us to be able to do that. But we're actually just, you will be able to literally use this system anywhere someone has, let's say, a POS system that has that works on Android. To give you an example, there will be an API that can be put in there. So if a merchant wants to use MTO or our system to use, to have the consumer, to offer consumer protection to their consumers and accept crypto payments, then they will be able to do so, and it will be we're going to try it. We're going to make it as simple as possible, just as installing an API, and that's it. Basically, that's what we're trying to do. So we are actually trying to go, I would say, global on this, but it wouldn't be directly us, it would be as well depending on which merchants want to do. We're also working on certain partnerships that are gonna allow us to go into certain regions directly, because, for instance, we're trying to get partnerships with POS people, like companies that build the POS systems and all these kind of things that are gonna allow us to just get directly into those ecosystems as well. How are we going to be able to participate and earn MTO? So that's another question that we have here. So you can actually go there right now and see yourself. You can go onto the website merchanttoken.io. and you can connect your wallet basically, and you can actually start using the MVP. So this is actually the MVP that you can see here, and this is basically how you will participate. So it's actually quite easy, because if you go into that website, you can actually start just seeing how the MVP actually works and how the whole dispute system actually works. And the best way that I can explain for you to do this is, if you think as yourself as an agent that you want to help the ecosystem to protect basically the consumers that are trying to buy something, and you can go there and dispute and review the disputes that consumers are putting forward. And basically what the system is going to reward you with is, if you did a good job basically, then you will get back some fees as well. Of course there will be some limitations, because we need to make sure that nobody is actually exploiting the system, so you will have to pay certain amount of MTOs to be able to participate. Then you will be basically getting a reputation system that is going to increase over time depending on how many disputes have you managed, and so on, so on, so forth. And that's how it's going to work, and that's basically what I was showing from the video before as well. So guys, I can see that there are no more questions about the project at the moment. I have put the links below for Discord and Telegram. Just don't forget to go there and follow us as well, because I'm very active on Telegram. So if you have any questions that you couldn't reach on this live stream, just go there and ask it there, and we will try to answer it as quick as possible. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and see you soon.